Alright, what is going on YouTube? Foxy Grandpa coming to you today with a brand new video, and welcome back to my cringy intro. So apparently my intro is super cringy, and apparently it's like a 2013 intro. That's what someone said in like one of my recent videos. Don't know what, I mean, I know what it means, but you know, yeah. But you know, I like my creative intros. They're third person, you know, machinima type shit there, bros. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about how Call of Duty fans have lowered their standards for the Call of Duty games that have been put out recently. I'd say since probably Ghosts. I'd say that they've lowered their standards, and I'm just going to talk about that, and I'll bring up other games besides Call of Duty, of course. But I hope you guys do enjoy. If you guys do, make sure you guys leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description below. And without further ado, let's go, bros. So, what do I mean by Call of Duty fans have lowered their standards? Well, it's pretty simple. And you know what? This includes me as well. Because, like, as a content creator, it kind of just happens that way. We've all basically just let Call of Duty do whatever it wanted, or let Activision do whatever it wanted. As far as, like, DLC content, DLC weapons, things of that sort. That sucks. You know, Call of Duty has changed so much, and I was just watching a video that was talking about Battlefront 2 and how the original Battlefront 2 launched with more content and how it launched with, you know, a bunch more than Battlefront 2 EA did, you know? And it got me thinking, like, Call of Duty has done the same exact thing, where, like, we've lowered our standards to what we expect in a video game now. We expect there to be DLC weapons. We don't expect list of weapons to choose from at the beginning of the game. You guys realize that, like, you know, this year people were excited because we got more than 10 maps at launch for this game? Like, do you guys realize that? That's what I mean by the Call of Duty community has lowered its standards. And, you know, it's not good. It's not a good thing at all, actually, in my opinion. In general, Call of Duty has just, to me personally, I feel like Call of Duty has let us down in the past multiple years as far as like maps, weapon variety, and things of that sort. And when I say weapon variety, I'm going to use like the Black Ops games as an example for this because I think that's like the best way to go personally. But like if you look at Black Ops 1 had 9 SMGs that you could play with at launch. At launch. That's unheard of in today's Call of Duties, man. Normally we'll get 5 like we did in this game, and then what will happen is we'll get 4 DLC SMGs, or more than 4 DLC SMGs, like, you know, whatever, you know, whatever, you guys get what I'm saying. And it just seems like every single game, the amount of weapons that we get at launch, lower. It's very weird. And you know, some of the things I'll be talking about in this video, they're gonna be minor things, some of them, and then there's other things like I'm talking about right now, like maps and weapons that are not minor. Maps and weapons are not minor. That's not like a minor thing, you know? And I know that there will be some of you that go, well, we'll just get it as a DLC weapon. That's what makes the game last longer. It's like, does it really? But you know, I'm all for holiday events and things like that. That's not in the category of like what I'm talking about, to be honest. Like, I'm talking more about, like, things that should be in the game at launch. For example, leaderboards. Leaderboards. Something so small, and something that's been in every single Call of Duty, but we don't have it in this game. And I'm not gonna talk about, this isn't about specialists. This is more about just, like, features and things that were in games back in the past. They just don't want to put in anymore. This is very minor, but it's not really minor to, I think, like, the Call of Duty scene, at least, and to the Call of Duty games, it's not really minor anymore. The player counts. The player counts are not even, they're not even questionable now. They're not even in the games anymore. I remember being able to see how many players were playing certain game modes. Even in Black Ops 3, it was like that, but now it's not. And it's like, why? Why isn't the game doing that anymore? And you know, people say that the reason why they don't show the player counts anymore is because the player count is at an all-time low. Now, how accurate that actually is, nobody really knows, but it does make sense when you're thinking about it, you know? Without Googling it or anything like that, down in the comments, I want you guys to let me know how many weapons you think Black Ops 4 launched with, and then how many weapons you think Black Ops 1 launched with. Let me know down in the comments, because then I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say this. Modern Warfare 2, and I know this isn't related to the Black Ops series, but this is like Call of Duty games in general. Modern Warfare 2, if you include all the primary weapons, all the secondaries, including the riot shield and the pistols and, you know, the launchers and all that shit, Modern Warfare 2 had 43 weapons at launch. 43. 43! That's insane. That's not heard of anymore. You guys know how insane and like rare that is now? And I know, like I said before, a lot of you guys or some of you are going to be like, well, that's what the DLC weapons are for, and that's what the events are for. You can have events without DLC weapons. I mean, you can put some DLC weapons in, I feel like. If you put some DLC weapons in, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. Black Ops 1 had 43 weapons at launch, which includes the ballistic knife, the crossbow, primaries, and the secondaries, and all that shit, man. Like, that's unheard of now. And you guys want to know how many weapons that Black Ops 4 had at launch? 27 weapons, which includes the combat knife, the launcher, you know, secondaries, and primaries, man. We've come to accept the lack of, I guess, variety in Call of Duty games, and video games have done that in general for years now, and I don't understand why. Now, I'm no saint because I bought the tiers for the last contraband because I wanted to show off weapons to you guys because that's content, and, you know, I told you guys not to buy it or anything like that, but, man, like, I'm telling you guys, man. I'm telling you guys. We have been getting gypped since Ghost. Maybe it was after Ghost. Maybe it was like, I don't know. I don't know. So, like, I would say we've been getting gypped for a little bit now. And I don't think it's really shown until this past year and last year. Last year with World War II, when we only got 9 maps. You know, how many maps did Modern Warfare 2 have at launch? 16. How many maps did Black Ops 1 have at launch? 14. And like I said before in the previous game, we were so glad that there's going to be 13 or 14 maps at launch this year for Black Ops 4. And it's like, shouldn't that be the bar that we set? Shouldn't we expect 14 maps at launch? Like, I don't know where that stopped happening. I think everyone was just kind of worried that, you know, Treyarch was going to only launch with 9 multiplayer maps because of like what happened with World War II. And I think World War II was like a very like rare case, but at the same time, as Call of Duty fans and as video games in general, you shouldn't be worried about if certain aspects of your game are not going to be in it at launch. I could say the same thing with Halo 5. Halo 5 did not have big team battle in its game at launch, and that should never be a problem for a Halo game, ever, because big team battle has been in Halo games at launch since Halo 2. So like, there's no reason to question it. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are like, well, Black Ops 4 had 14 maps at launch. Yeah, and that's great. That's good. Like, that's normal. Like I said before, everyone's lowered their standards and everyone forgets how good we used to have it and how games should be developed. You know, I might sound biased towards the older Call of Duty games, and I'll say it, I'm a little biased because, like, that's what I grew up playing, and I know the kids that grew up playing these games are going to be a little biased towards these, but at the same time, anyone with common sense knows that the older games had a lot more variety. It's like, it's not even a question. And when it comes to maps, when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to class customization, when it comes to the amount of weapons we used to have, when it comes to leaderboards, when it comes to the maps themselves, not just the amount of maps we had, but the maps themselves were most of the time all different until I'd say Black Ops 2. The microtransactions have basically made the DLC weapons a staple, and it's good for content, I guess, but like at the same time, not only have the microtransactions affected how we look at these games now and games in general, but it also took away what we labeled as a full game. You know, I know a lot of people say, you know, oh, Call of Duty never releases a full game at launch, or games aren't completely finished when they're released because they rely on DLC, you know, and all that shit. The Destiny, Call of Duty, you know, even Halo 5 did it, you know. Not only have microtransactions lowered our standards, basically, but at the same time, like, microtransactions have ultimately allowed people to unlock DLC weapons in a different way that isn't friendly. It's not, you know, once again, it lowers the expectations of the games. So when we heard about the reactive camos and we were like, oh, we have to, you know, unlock them through challenges, that's crazy. That's awesome. The fact that we're all saying, oh, that's awesome, you know, thank God, is really bad, actually, because it shows where we are in the Call of Duty community and as a community for gaming. It just shows that we expect everything to be locked behind a loot system, which is terrible. That's terrible. You know, and I can't stress that enough, man.
Double kill.
Oh my goodness. Just get owned. All three of yous, get out of here! And some people might look at it as like nitpicking and, you know, bitching or complaining, and some people might say, oh, well, just go play a different game. It's like, why should I have to accept the way that this game does business? Or why should I have to accept the way that, you know, Activision does business? Like, I shouldn't have to. You know, the games should be user-friendly. The way that we unlock certain things should be user-friendly. That's one thing I'll give to World War II. I will give that to World War II 100%. The way that we unlock DLC weapons, or the way that we unlocked certain variants, not for all the guns, of course, but for some of them, was fantastic. The daily orders were a great addition to Call of Duty World War II, and I don't care what anyone has to say about that game. I talk shit about that game a lot because there's a lot of things in that game I don't agree with, but part of the microtransaction system is something I do agree with. I don't agree with it completely, but the daily orders made it so easy to unlock variants for the bar, for the Lewis, for the combat shotgun. The DLC weapons were easy to unlock if you saved your armory credits. And do I agree with the microtransaction system for World War II as far as like heroic weapons and heroic variants go? No. But you know what? I'll accept the fact that we were able to unlock DLC weapons very, very easily. That's all I really had to say about this, man. Like, I didn't want to... I just wanted to, like, see what you guys thought about it as well, because, in my opinion, Call of Duty fans have literally accepted the fact that, you know, oh, well, there's only gonna be, you know, 25, 26, 27 weapons at launch, and, you know, we'll get DLC weapons and stuff like that. No. Give me 43 weapons at launch. Or give me some weapon variety that I can choose from. So, let me know what you guys think about this. Have Call of Duty fans lowered their standards for Call of Duty games? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We'll be back with some more funny videos later on in the week. Maybe we'll go revisit another Call of Duty or something like that. This kid's fucking camping in the back with a goddamn... Alright, goodbye. End of video. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support recently, actually. Let me actually say this real quick. Thank you guys so much for the support recently on the Akimbo in every Call of Duty video and on the Black Ops 2 in 2019 video. The Black Ops 2 in 2019 video hit 10K within the first 24 hours. 10K views in the first 24 hours. It's an insane amount for me, at least, because that's the first time that's ever happened on my channel. So I have to thank you guys so much for that. And I hope that there are more videos like that to come in the future. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.